I've been reflecting on this theme of Swachhta Swabhaav and Swachhta Sanskaar and seeing how deep this thought is and what actually our Honorable Prime Minister is asking us to do. Is it just a one-day celebration? Is it just a 14-day celebration? Or is it just a 10-year celebration? No. It's actually a swachhta, a cleanliness that in the most gross level is actually cleaning up our communities so that they reflect a much deeper, much more subtle level of cleanliness. And that is a cleanliness in our hearts and a cleanliness in our head and in our mind. That when we see that divinity in all of creation, that as Puja Swamiji says, that the created is not separate from the creation. And therefore, if we see that litter on the street, it is our responsibility to clean it up. That when we see a Safai Mitra being ill-treated or being treated as less than, then it is our responsibility to make sure that they are protected and they are served and they are honored and they are respected. And this was the same swachhta that Puja Bapu was reflecting upon when he gave us that swatantrata se bhi zyada zaruri swachhta hai. What could be more important than independence? Cleanliness, he said. Because until we have cleanliness, we can never really be independent. And until we have cleanliness on the most subtle level to the most gross level, until we have that harmony of the head and the heart and the hands, can we actually have a Swachh Swatantra Bharat. And that is what we are reflecting on this theme. And I've been reflecting on the tricolors, the colors of the Indian flag, the orange, the white and the green, and how that is such a beautiful reflection of what we mean by Swachh Bharat. That our farms and our fields are green, our land is green, is lush with forests. And that on the white level, our actions are self-reliant, self-sustainable, self-sufficient. That when the charkha moves, the charkha is that beautiful embodiment of that harmony between our head, our heart and our hands, circling everything and seeing that unity in all of creation, that thread of creation being this beautiful union. And then that orange being that tej, being that light that illuminates, that gives power, that gives us the Shakti, that brings light onto everything, that allows everything to grow and flourish and thrive. And so if you look at the tricolor or you look at the essence of our nation, that is what we're talking about. And so how apt when we celebrate this Swachh Me Vijayate theme, that not Satya Me Vijayate, but Swachh Me Vijayate, because if you have Swachh Me Vijayate, then only can you have Satya Me Vijayate. Because if you have Swachhta here, you have Swachhta here, and you exude Swachhta through here, then you will be living in truth, you will be exuding truth, and you will be sharing truth. But cleanliness needs to happen here for that cleanliness to be shown outside, and for it to really be cleanliness that lasts much longer, that actually comes into your life. That cleanliness is only possible when we become the very essence and the tool through which we are cleaning and we become the brooms in our society. If there is indifference, if there is indifference in our society, how can we clean that? If there is filth in our streets, how can we clean that? If there is separation in our minds, if there's isolation in our minds, if there's vacuums in our minds, if there is a disconnect with the Creator in all of creation, how can we clean that? And when we become the agents of that cleanliness on the most subtle level to the most gross level, then only can we become the instruments through which our societies are cleaned. And this is the theme that we're celebrating. How can our Swabhaav and our Sanskaar become Swachh? How can we be that Swachhta? How can we exude that Swachhta? And that light of Swachhta is actually what brings truth, is actually what brings independence, is actually what brings connection, and is actually what brings justice and equality and joy and reverence and celebration into our societies and into our lives. So I hope you reflect on this theme as well. And I hope that these 14 days should inspire a lifelong journey of Swachhta. Jai Gange. Swachhta में विजय दे.